Okay, good afternoon, viewers from wherever you're watching us from. Welcome to another edition of today's program. You know how we do it. We bring you topics that interest you and we talk about them. This is where we deal with those topics. And today I'll be your host for the day. My name is Philip Shedra, and my left hand I have,
I'm pretty fine, people.
my right hand is with me.
Bro Jared.
Okay, these are the wonderful people that will be talking about this particular topic we have on plate today. So join me as we go. We'll be talking on a very serious topic, tithing. This is a topic that most of us in the church we used to shy away from it, but it's a very important topic, and these people want to make justice to this particular thing. How should tithing be paid in the church? How should tithing be paid in the church? This is what our brothers will be telling us. So, brother Gerald, I think I will start with you. I want you to just tell me, what do you think about tithing?
Tithing is a very big commandment that the Lord gave to us. It started in the Old Testament, from the time of Abraham, Moses, all these old prophets. So, for me today, I think that tithing is something that we should respect as the Lord has commanded it to be. He said in Malachi that the only way that we can rob Him is through tithing. So, I think that today, tithing, we should pay 1/10 of our income. That means like anything you earn, you divide it, then you pick one out of the 10, yeah. So you pay it to the Lord. So from my own view, I think that tithing should just be paid to God. We should just bring out that our 1/10. It shouldn't exceed 1/10. It shouldn't exceed 1/10, and it shouldn't be lower than 1/10. We should just give it to Him, just to show our gratitude for what He has done for us. Our appreciation and all that. So
Thank
that's
you
my
very
own
much.
point of view.
Brother Peter Ifeanyi, tell me what you think about tithing.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. The truth is that the tithing is a biblical obligation that started from, let me say, the origin had to do with Abraham when he encountered Melchizedek and he gave 1/10. I agree with tithing, but what I'm here to is how should tithing be paid? Because people just believe you bring out 1/10 and you go to the church, either you give it to the pastor or you put it in the church and you go home. I agree it should be paid, but is that how it ought to be paid as a Christian? So that's why I'm here.
Oh, that's very interesting. Thank you very much. So, Mr. Gerard, you see, the topic we have on board today is how should tithing be paid in the church? You will agree with me that a lot of people in the church, let me not say a lot of people, a lot of us, like most of us in the church, we actually pay this tithe in different ways. Some pay with materials, some pay with money, cash, which is your cash. So, like, how do you think tithing should be paid in the church?
For me, tithing is something that should be paid discreetly. You shouldn't pay tithe openly, just like Jesus Christ taught us. When you are doing alms, you shouldn't do it openly. So that's, for me, I think also tithing should be paid like that. So when you have this 1/10, you have a leader who is in charge of the denomination you are, whatsoever denomination you are into. You have a leader that God has appointed to lead you guys. So when you put your tithing in whatever you are putting it in, envelope or whatever basket you are putting it into, this tithing should go to the leader for the affairs of the church. It is for the Lord. So like the Lord cannot come down and take this money through your hands. The Lord appointed someone already in charge of these things. Now when you pay this tithing to this person will now use it and take charge of the affairs of the things happening in the church. For example, like church buildings, like the seats in the church, like helping the needy and the poor also, and other church services. So that's what I think, how we should pay our tithing.
So you're saying that if we have poor people in the church, like the widows and the widowers, like it's free to give the tithe to them, since this money is for. But I'll come back to your question later, to you later. Let me just go to Mr. Fine.
No.
So I want you to just tell me in 2 minutes, how do you think tithing should be paid?
You see, that's where we have issue. Because people believe that tithing is when you work, whatever thing you do, you get your 10%. Just take it to church and give it to the pastor or drop it in the offering basket and go home. Now, but if you look at the origin apart from where Abraham met Melchizedek, he gave it to Melchizedek. But you know that in that place the Bible said in Genesis 14 from verse 18 to 20, Melchizedek gave him something, he gave him wine and oil. He gave him a gift, he gave Abraham something. But remember before then, Abraham went to war. And these were the goods he gathered from the war. So out of it, he gave 10%. But God gave Moses an obligation in the wilderness that the Levites are the ones that should collect tithe among the children of Israel. But the Levites were not meant to work. They were not meant to even have an inheritance. So that was why they were the custodians of the tithe. But in these days, we have ministries where the pastors have businesses and they are working. Then the members go out and work and come and pay tithe to a man who has money that he doesn't know what to use it for. That's why you see in most ministries, the ministers in charge are richer, the people in the church are poor. But is that the purpose? No, that cannot be a purpose. It was meant to service the needs in the temple. You see, when we talk about tithe, people feel somehow. Did Jesus talk about tithe? Jesus preached about everything, but he never spoke about paying tithe. He talked about marriage, talked about divorce. He even preached about heaven and hell that most ministers will not preach today, but he never went straight. He didn't even collect. And he didn't pay to anybody, but he paid tax. So in the area we are in, we have people with needs in church. But most people would we disregard the people that have needs and just believe, okay, I'm giving to God. He said, when we bring it, we'll give it to God. My question is, have you ever seen God in any form come down to collect tithe? It is men. But when they collect this tithe, what do they use them for? That's to see where I'm concerned. Because we have many needy people in church, but nobody cares for many of them. Because we believe we've given to God. He talked about building of. In most ministries, they have building projects and they give for it. Even they have crusade and special programs. People still contribute for those special programs, which is not part of tithing. Tithing is 1/10 of what God gives you. But you see,
Mr. Ifeanyi, sorry for cutting you short, but I just want you to give us, and whatever you are saying, Mr. Gerard, I want you guys to give us Bible references, quotations that will back whatever points you're giving us for our viewers out there. You understand? I don't want you to just speak out of your own assumption how you think it should be, because this is something that has to be from the Bible. So I want you to always try to give us Bible references where we can locate some of these points, so we see for ourselves at home. Thank you. You can go on, sir.
all right. Now, when Jesus came on the scene in Luke 4:18, the first thing he said is, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me, for he has anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. That's why you see in the ministry of Jesus, he was not collecting from the people. Everywhere he appeared, you saw him giving. You saw when he multiplied bread and fishes that he gave the people, 5,000 people. He didn't collect from them. He was an extortionist. He was not. He was a giver. You understand? Yes, he talked about too many things. Listen, if you go in the book of Matthew 25, verse 34 to 46, you saw when he was talking about him being in prison, people came to visit him, he was poor, and they helped him, he was hungry, somebody gave him food. He said, when you do this, they asked him, where have we done this? He said, if you do it for one of these little ones, you've done it for me. And he used it to tell people how people need to appreciate this message of that he came to give to us. You see the
Okay, thank you. Sorry for cutting you. Mr. Gerard, back to your question that I wanted to ask you. He also hit on that same point that you guys are trying to bring out, but I just want to clear our audience. Are you guys saying that tithing, if it's been paid to the less privileged in the church, it is right? Or must it be paid to the pastor to make it according to how God wants it to be? Or if you are paying it, or you just look for a less privileged person in the church and just give your tithe to them, it is the same thing as giving it to the church. Must this tithe be brought to the church, or it can be used to settle other needs? This is my question. So I will start with you, sir.
Now that's where we misunderstand tithing and offering. Tithing is a different thing totally, and offering is a different thing totally also. But sometimes we use it interchangeably, you know. Now, tithing is for the Lord. The Lord only needs your 1/10. If you add something to that 1/10, that thing is offering. It's like you are paying generously, you know. He mentioned about the Levites. Who were the Levites in the scriptures? They were religious leaders set aside to carry out certain responsibilities in the synagogue. Now, these Levites today, they are just like our religious leaders that we have today. Now, why were the Israelites paying their tithes to the Levites? Because the Lord commanded them to pay their tithes to the Levites, because they were the religious leaders then. The Levites that we have today might be our prophets, our pastors, our bishops. We have these selected men of God that have this responsibility to take care of the affairs and the things happening in the church. We mentioned about Jesus not preaching about tithing. You know, in the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verses 17, Jesus said that he didn't come to abolish the law, but in him that the law will be fulfilled. You know, so apparently Jesus Christ spoke about everything, even when he was chastising the Pharisees and the Sadducees. That is in Matthew chapter 23, verses 23. He was telling them that you guys do bear grudges, you guys do bad things, but you guys just pay your tithes in order to appear holy unto men. So Jesus also pointed about tithing indirectly there. But that's not where I'm going. Now, what he's actually talking is offering. What is offering? Offering is a generous way of giving out to the needy and the poor. You know, it is not a must you can give your offering in the church. You can go out in the streets, you see the beggars, you give them your offering. Jesus spoke about it in Matthew chapter 6, verses 1 to 4. And he taught us how we should be giving our offerings. He said, when you give your offering, do not show it unto the world that you are giving your offering. Do not be like the hypocrites who want people to see you that you are giving offering. You know, you should do it secretly, so that God, who sees in secret, will reward you also secretly. Tithe is specifically for God, and it's for the church. I don't know about many other.
But you're saying that tithing should be paid to the pastor.
It should be paid to the pastor. In my denomination,
to the church.
I don't know.
And if you use another medium to pay your tithe, that's
not tithing. That's offering.
Okay.
Offering you can give it to anybody. It's not possible you go to the church. Offering you can do offering in the street. You can give someone money in the street. It's not a must you must give it to the pastor. But tithing is strictly for God,
and it should be paid
to show gratitude or to show appreciation of the things that he has done for you.
Thank you very much. That means you're telling our viewers out there that tithing should be paid to the pastor.
To the pastor or whosoever that is in charge.
For you, sir, do you agree with this point, or you still have something to add to this?
I wanted us to define this tithe. Tithing, he said it should pay to the Lord. I accept. Tithing, for me, is God's money. And God's money is for God's people. He said the Levites, those Levites, do you know, when the Bible talked in the book of Numbers 18:21, he said the tithing was for the Levites. And do you know, the Levites had no inheritance. They were not to build houses. They were not to have farms. They were not to own anything. So what they were feeding on was that tithing. But we have religious leaders today who have businesses. If you have a bookshop, you have a business. If you have other jobs outside the ministry work, that's business. Now listen, if you read, I want to read the place in the book of Deuteronomy 26 verse 12. It says, when thou hast made an end of all the tithe of thy increase the third year, which is the year of tithing, and has given it to the Levite, the stranger, the fatherless, and the widows. Most people have not seen this place. They just look at Malachi 3 verse 8 to 10 when he said, but here God made mention of the Levites. He made mention of the widows. He talked about the fatherless. He talked about strangers. These people are people who are in need. See, your offering is your free will. You can have 1 billion and choose to give 10 to give 1 naira. But your tithing is 1/10. And listen, somewhere God said it mustn't be money. It's because we make money. In those days, they give corn. If you have 10 goats, you give 1. So you can give anything. But the truth is that if you go to the apostles in Acts chapter 2, you begin to see how, from verse 2, see how they were able to dispose. The Bible said they shared all things, they had all things in common. They gave to everyone that had need, and it brought about an increase. Remember, before Ananias and Sapphira died, people were selling land, they were bringing. It was not for the apostles. They were you said about the leaders of the church. Peter in Acts of Apostles chapter 3 met the man at the beautiful gate. He said, silver and gold had I not. If it was Peter's money, they should have disposed for his pocket. But Peter knew that the tithing that came into the house of God was not theirs. It was for the people. So he can't give out what was not his.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chika. I would have loved to allow you to talk
It's all right.
more, but I think we'll finish it in the comment section.
It's okay.
You know, we still have other programs on this video today, so I think we'll have to end this. Yeah, and thank you very much for coming to our program.
Thank you, it's my pleasure.
Thank you.
It's my
A
pleasure.
pleasure to have you guys on.
I
stage
just pray
today.
we should pay tithing.
Yeah, and to our viewers out there, you heard what they said. Tithing should be paid to the pastor according to our brother, and our brother here said, okay, any religious leaders, yes, and our brother here said tithing can be paid to the widow.
You can allow me round up the way. No, you bring
no,
it to
that would
church.
be next time. I'm sorry,
Okay.
that would be
I
next
still have
time.
some things to say, but
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. We'll do that in the comment section. Thank you very much for coming, and I would like you, the viewers, to make your own opinion about this topic in the comment section. Just don't forget to follow us, like our page, and God bless you.